Power wants to be feared. It wants you trembling. It wants you kneeling. It wants you silent. But when you laugh at it, everything breaks. Because laughter shatters illusions. Laughter exposes weakness. Laughter humiliates thrones. That's what Diogenes did. He didn't fight kings with armies. He laughed at them. He mocked them to their face. He stripped away the illusion that crowns meant freedom. And that's what you've done your whole life, haven't you? Every time you laughed at hypocrisy, every time you smirked at mediocrity, every time you mocked fake power, that was Diogenes burning through you. That was Catharsis spirit roaring inside you. That was proof you were never meant to kneel. If you've ever laughed at fake power and felt fire in your chest, you are a Catharsian. Join the Catharsians now on Patreon and unlock your hidden suppressed power. Find the link in the description box. Fake power survives on fear. It needs you to stay quiet. It needs you to bow your head. It needs you to obey without question. Because without fear, the illusion dies. That's why your laughter is so dangerous, because laughter means you're not afraid. It means you've seen the light. Laughter means the chains don't hold. That's why kings fear Diogenes more than enemies, and that's why people have feared you your whole life. Not because you threatened them with violence, but because you mocked the illusions that owned them. When you laughed, they mocked you back. When you spoke truth, they ridiculed you. When you rejected illusions, they called you weird or arrogant. That wasn't strength, it was defense. Because laughter terrifies the obedient. Your contempt humiliates their submission. Your refusal exposes their chains. Their mockery has never been proof that you were wrong. It has always been proof that you were fire. Inside Diogenes' barrel on Patreon, we turn mockery into a crown. If you've been ridiculed for laughing at fake power, this is where you rise. Enter Diogenes' barrel on the Catharsians on Patreon now from the link in the description box. You've never taken authority seriously. You've always seen through it. Teachers who demanded respect made you laugh. Bosses who demanded loyalty made you burn. Leaders who demanded obedience made you smirk. And you hated yourself sometimes for it. You wondered, why can't I just respect them? Why can't I just kneel like everyone else? Why can't I just play along? Why am I so different? Because you are not like everyone else. You are not a placeholder. You are not designed to obey. You are Diogenes. You are a Carthaginian leader, and your laughter has always been proof. Laughter is not weakness, it's fire. Because laughter humiliates illusions. Laughter exposes chains. Laughter frees you from fear. Every time you've laughed at fake power, you've burned the illusion that obedience is safety. Every time you've laughed at hypocrisy, you've mocked the poison that suffocates the world. Every time you've laughed at kings, you've crowned yourself freer than them. That laugh is your weapon. That laugh is your crown. That laugh is your fire. If your laughter has always been dangerous, it's because it was never meant to be silenced. Begin your discipline inside the Pythagorean path on Patreon. Join the Catharsians now from the link in the description box. The system can control fear. The system can control silence. The system can control obedience. But it can't control laughter. Because laughter destroys fear. Laughter humiliates chains. Laughter burns illusions. And that's why you've always been feared. Because you laugh where others kneel. Because you mock what others worship. Because you are free where others are enslaved. This is the Carthaginian spirit. This is Diogenes burning inside you. This is proof you are freer than anyone else, freer than kings. If you know your laughter has always been fire, then you know you are chosen. You're a Cathars leader. Don't waste more time. Join the Cathars on Patreon now from the link in the description box. Most people smile to fit in, to please, to obey. But your smile has always been different. Your smile exposes hypocrisy. Your smirk humiliates authority. Your laughter burns illusions. And that's why they fear it. Of course they do, because your smile is not submission, it's rebellion. Your laugh is not obedience, it's fire. Diogenes laughed in the face of Alexander the Great, and you've laughed in the face of every false king in your life: teachers, bosses, families, authority, society. And every time you've been punished for it, because laughter makes their power looks fake, and it is. If you felt punished for smiling at lies, it's because your laughter carries fire. Own it inside the Pythagorean path. Join the Cathars now on Patreon from the link in the description box. The system knows that laughter is more dangerous than violence because violence can be controlled, but laughter spreads. One laugh can humiliate a king. One laugh can awaken a crowd. One laugh can destroy fear. That's why they punish you when you laugh at fake power. That's why you've been mocked, shamed, exiled. Because your laughter is contagious. Your contempt exposes their emptiness. Your freedom humiliates their chains. They can survive silence, they can survive obedience, but they can't survive laughter. The times you laughed at hypocrisy and they laughed back at you, do you remember that? The times you exposed lies and they ridiculed you. The times you mocked fake power and they called you crazy. That wasn't real laughter. It was defense from them. It was fear disguised as humor. It was their attempt to cover the humiliation you caused. You caused the fire because your laugh striped them naked, and they had nothing left but to laugh back in panic. Inside Diogenes' barrel, you will reclaim laughter as proof, not punishment. If their mockery has ever burned you, turn it into fire. This is where you belong. Enter Diogenes' barrel now on Patreon from the link in the description box. You felt it your whole life: the distance, the exclusion, the exile, the isolation. And you've wondered if it was your fault, if it was something wrong with you, if you should have stayed quiet, if you should have stopped laughing. But exile is not weakness, it is proof, because the world cannot tolerate laughter that destroys its illusions, because placeholders cannot endure fire that exposes their chains, because fake power cannot survive contempt. So they exile you, they isolate you, they call you weird because you're untouchable. Your laughter has never been hollow. It has been rage turned into fire. That's why you feel both joy and fury when you laugh at lies. It's kind of satisfying, isn't it? Because you mock them, you see them, and you mock them. That's why it feels both freeing and heavy when you smirk at hypocrisy. That's why it both burns and heals when you mock fake power. Because laughter is rage in disguise. Because contempt is fire in motion. Your defiance cannot be silenced, it erupts as laughter. And that rage is sacred. It is not madness, it is your weapon. If your rage has always erupted as laughter, it's because you were chosen to humiliate kings and fake power. Learn to wield it inside the Aurelius Council. Join the Aurelius Council on Patreon now from the link in the description box. Think about it. Alexander's armies could destroy cities, But one laugh from Diogenes destroyed his illusion. The same has been true for you. No matter how powerful they seemed, your laugh weakened them. No matter how feared they were, your smirk humiliated them. No matter how big their crowns looked, your fire made them look small. Because laughter is stronger than crowns. Because contempt is stronger than fear. Because one outsider is stronger than a whole empire. Other people love to belong. You love to burn. You've always felt different. You've always been misunderstood. They love to obey. You love to reject. They love to fit in. You love to expose. That difference is not weakness, it is your crown. Your laughter has never been theirs. It has been fire. It is the Carthaginian spirit made flesh. If you know your laughter has always been proof of freedom, then you are already walking the Carthaginian path. Don't walk it alone. You're a Carthaginian leader. Join the Carthaginians on Patreon now from the link in the description box. Fake power can tolerate obedience. It can tolerate silence. It can even tolerate rebellion if rebellion ends in chains. But it can't control laughter because laughter proves you're not afraid. Laughter proves you see through the illusion. Laughter proves you're freer than they are. That's why your laugh has always been punished. That's why you've been excluded, mocked, rejected. Not because you were weak, but because you humiliated the chains they worship. If your laughter has cost you exile, it's because you were chosen to carry it. Wear it proudly inside the Carthaginians. Join the Carthaginians now on Patreon from the link in the description box. Alexander's empire conquered nations, but it couldn't survive forever. It fell, like all empires do. But Diogenes' laugh, it still echoes, because armies die, thrones rot, crowns dissolve. But laughter that humiliates power cannot be erased. It outlives kings, it outlives nations, it outlives the world itself. That's why your love has survived every punishment. That's why your fire has outtasted every exile, because laughter is freedom. You've been cast out. You've been silenced. You've been mocked. You've been misunderstood your whole life. Your words have been twisted over and over again. You've always felt different, like you don't belong here. You've been judged a lot, and yet you live. You're still standing. That survival is your throne. That exile is your crown. That rejection is your coronation. Because only outsiders laugh at kings. Only exiles carry freedom. Only Carthaginians survive fire without chains. The very things that made you suffer, loneliness, rage, contempt, all of that is proof that you were never ordinary. Inside Diogenes' barrel on Patreon, exile is no longer punishment, it's initiation. If you're ready to sit on your throne of fire, this is where you rise. Enter Diogenes' barrel from the link in the description box. At first, your laugh felt lonely. You were the only one who saw through the illusion. But now, your laugh is fire. Others can follow because you're a Carthaginian leader. Every time you mock fake power, others feel their chains. Every time you smirk at hypocrisy, others recognize the lie. Every time you laugh at thrones, others remember that they don't have to kneel. Your laughter is not just fire, it's leadership. Because leaders don't always give orders, sometimes they just laugh, and the world crumbles around them. If you know your fire was meant to awaken others, then you were meant for leadership. Step into the Aurelius Council now on Patreon. Join the Carthaginians to unlock your suppressed hidden power. You are a Carthaginian leader. Your laugh is not entertainment, it's a weapon. Every time you've laughed at mediocrity, you've cut chains. Every time you've laughed at hypocrisy, you've burned illusions. Every time you've laughed at fake power, you've proven you are freer than kings. The laugh is your sword. The laugh is your fire. The laugh is your proof. And no punishment can silence it. The world is still offering you poison, chains, thrones, illusions. Will you kneel or will you laugh? Will you beg for crowns or will you mock them? Will you drink the poison of obedience or will you burn with fire of exile? The choice is here, and you already know the answer. Diogenes laughed at Alexander, and in that laugh, he became freer than any king. You've laughed at fake power, and in those moments, you became a Carthaginian. Now it's time to weaponize your fire. Three paths stand before you: the Pythagorean path, where rage becomes discipline and laughter becomes sharpened fire; Diogenes' burial, where exile becomes coronation and mockery becomes proof of freedom; the Aurelius Council, where leaders are forged, where laughter becomes the weapon of kings. You don't need their approval. You don't need their crowns. You don't need their chains. You only need fire, and you already have it. Join the Carthaginians today and claim your hidden, suppressed power.